So we've got a customized PowerPoint presentation in there as well, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what we've got. And like I said, if you want to, you can use this, or you can go in and customize it. And I want to caution you to make sure that you talk to your broker, make sure that everything is good with your broker, because you don't want to do anything that they wouldn't approve of either. So that's what NAR has created for you in the Home Buyer Workshop. This PowerPoint is used when you actually go in front of the employer. Okay? So when you go, I have mine customized too. Like I said, if time permits, I will show those to you, the ones that I did for my company. So on this particular slide, you'll see that, see where it says sample EAH presentation to introduce EAH to employers? So you're going to put your company name, your logo, and everything there. But what you also want to do is think about it like it's a listing. You remember when we used to go do those things, the listings? And you go to the seller's house and you hold up this picture of his house and everything. Well, I would put the company that you're going to, put their logo in there and put their company name. Take a minute just to put theirs and customize it for them. I'll show you, if I have time, I have the Zappos presentation for you and how we did it for Zappos. But we also have to send the PowerPoint slides to the employer to have approval as well. This is what I'm going to show your employees. Is that okay? Sometimes they don't want that. Sometimes the employers don't want me to bring a lender with me at all. Sometimes they do. So you'll see how it's customized. So this is just what you're going to do when you go into an employer and you're just presenting the program to them. Yeah. Community Reinvestment Act, CRA, CRA lender. Community Reinvestment Act. These lenders are lenders that the government gives money to and loans the money at a lesser interest rate so they can pass that on to the consumer. Those banks, in order to get that money, must reinvest into the community through businesses and first-time home buyers, and they must reinvest or they won't get that money again. So look for your CRA lender who is HUD approved. Also look for your emerging markets specialist within those banks. Because the emerging market, I mean, you can have a loan officer that's very knowledgeable but doesn't know anything about these programs. There are a ton of programs out there, and it takes a real specialist to understand how they work with the loans and to understand some of the stipulations that these grants have. So just make sure that you have CRA and an emerging market specialist. Another really great organization is NeighborWorks America. One of the best organizations in the country. If you ever want to study or learn about these programs or learn about how to counsel folks, which I wouldn't do because it's a heck of a job. It's hard. So if you want to learn about that, they have the best institutes in Chicago to train you on that. NW.org. NW.org. They provide counseling and down payment assistance. They also, in some states, do rehab, build senior housing. They're basically a neighborhood services program. So, and they will do your 8-hour homebuyer education classes as well. Okay? Your local consumer credit counselings, your CDCs, community development centers. Remember some of those websites I told you to look on, your state website, your city website. Get some of those. It'll all be under neighborhood services. So you want to get with those nonprofit organizations and partner with them because they definitely want to do this with you. Be knowledgeable about that when you're bringing that forth to the employer because that builds strength in what you're doing. Having your lender, having your nonprofit, having the knowledge of these programs, and also you're going to want to offer the employee the 8-hour homebuyer education course. So find out where they're teaching those in your city so that you can refer the employee out to get his first-time homebuyer certificate. Well, they'll learn about all of the components it takes to own a home. So that's really good information too because you also want the employer to realize that you're not disseminating all the information. You're not the one. You are the source of the source but never the source. You have all of these resources. I call myself that. The Hope Home Foundation is a resource center for all of the local and existing nonprofits. Our presentation to Zappos, okay? So we just thank them for the opportunity to be there. Okay, who are we? Talk a little bit about ourselves. What to expect. We've broken into 4 steps of home ownership. Assessing your needs, your personal financial analysis, house shopping, and closing. Very simple. Then I do a little bit of my philosophy. Kind of, are y'all here to buy a house? And, people always say you can't do it. And I always say to people, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So where are you going? That's what I talked about. And I do the old, what keeps us from getting what we want? We're afraid. What's the alternative? We stay the same. So if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So I do that with them. And then I show some successful families. Here's some families. I'm sure you all have pictures of families. These families all got $30,000 except for the really smiley, happy boy down in the corner. That's my $75,000 family. That's my golden children right there. And we show people, look, it's folks just like you and me. These are folks just like you and me. You can get a house, okay? So then we go into what is assessing a needs. What does a real estate agent do for you? I never talk about my company really because they don't want me to, but I'm there if they're going to call me. Then we go into what you can afford, a little bit about earnest money, and then we go house shopping. Of course, we can't go to the grocery store without our wallets. So why would we go house shopping without knowing how much we can spend? We go and then I show my little guy, interject my little humor. These are Las Vegas houses, by the way. And I really like this one a lot because you see the little ladder right there? I would hate that if I came home really late one night or got up really early in the morning and missed a step. That wouldn't be good. Okay? Then I set up the expectation level on what it is to buy a bank-owned property in Las Vegas. What is it like? These are all the things that you have to watch out for. So I kind of, start to set the expectation level with the client. Talk about HUD homes a little bit. What is a realtor's role? How do we determine how we buy a house? This is big in our city. We talk about new home developments, and we don't want the client to go out shopping without us because we won't get paid, right? We did all that work, so we can talk a little bit about that. What happens when you make an offer to purchase? Home inspections and walkthroughs. Step 4 is the closing. Then we go over again, what is the home buying process? Did you hear that? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I worked a whole week and a half on that. Or maybe 5 minutes, I don't know. Week and a half sounds good. Murphy's Laws of Moving, I kind of throw the, you got to have some humor in there. You got to put your personality in, And then this is what your spouse wants to do to you when you get done shopping. I can't stop watching. That is just, yeah, one more time. Yeah, it's just too good. I can't stop watching it. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay. So that's what you're going to do to your realtor. And then we say, don't. We say, get your ducks in a row so nothing falls through the cracks. I know. It's ridiculous. And then that's it. So basically, that is my home buyer presentation when I go out to employers.